We start with the West in the NBA. Denver ending their game on a 15-0 run to rally past the Timberwolves, clinching the 2 seed in the Western Conference. Jalen, how much confidence do you have in the Nuggets entering the postseason?
I have so much confidence that I'll say definitively either Denver or OKC will face the Golden State Warriors in the conference final. So will the young team Denver with home court advantage, who's beaten Oklahoma City 3 or 4 times this year, be able to prevail versus the veterans like Russell Westbrook and Paul George? Going to be great to see in the second round.
Now, despite resting all of their starters, playing only 6 players, and falling behind as many as 28 points, the Trail Blazers rallied back, defeating the Kings, and in doing so, that means they finished 3rd in the West. So how big of a deal is it that Portland jumped the Rockets for that 3 seed, Jalen?
It's a big deal. Here's why, Laura. It's the difference between the Rockets playing the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals or in the second round. You got to find a way to get that done if you're Houston. But props to Portland, because we always overlook them. But last year and this year, they finished as a top 3 seed in the West.
Russell Westbrook, your dude, tied Magic Johnson for the 2nd most triple-doubles in NBA history. The Thunder wrap up the 6th seed with a win last night. It was an up-and-down season for OKC, but which team do you expect to see in the playoffs? The really good OKC or maybe the not-so-good?
The really good OKC team that didn't finish 8th. So therefore, they don't have to play the Warriors in the second round.
Good point.
They did finish 6th, so they don't have to play the Rockets in the second round. This really shapes up for the Oklahoma City Thunder if they can make perimeter shots to make a long run in this playoff run.
Yeah, and as you might expect, and if you remember, the Warriors clinched the 1 seed on Sunday. They have an 89% chance to beat the Clippers in the first round, according to BPI. Our model also favors Denver over San Antonio, Portland, and Portland over OKC, and Houston over Utah. So as we look at all of this, first round matchup, you're most excited to watch, Mr. Rose?
Well, that Portland and OKC one's going to be really interesting because those are 2 teams that seem to not like one another. You have Dame Dollar and CJ McCollum in the backcourt going against Russell Westbrook and Paul George. And I just overlooked Portland again when I just saw that they're the favorite to actually win that series.
According to BPI.
According to BPI, they're going to be without Nurkic. They're going to get more minutes from Enes Kanter. Terry Stotts does a terrific job coaching Portland. That's the matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing.
The BPI had me thinking for a hot second.
BPI will mess you up.
that maybe Houston is going to have a little trouble in that first round matchup. But I don't believe that's going to be the case. I'm with you. I think watching the only matchup in the first round that I actually think could go either way is that that Portland-OKC one, because I think Portland is underrated. But OKC is not going into the playoffs feeling hot right now. They have not been playing well towards the end of the season. And Russell Westbrook is a type of boom or bust player because when he's bad, as he was early in the season, he's really bad. And I don't know if Paul George is enough to lift them up if Russell is not playing at his best.
Okay, as we continue with the West bracket, which player do you think makes the biggest impact in the first round?
I would have to say I'm going with Dame Lillard because here's what ends up happening. Indiana falls into this category, too. You look at the standings, they top 4, top 5. We never talk about them. Portland was number 3 last year. They got swept in the first round by the Pelicans, who are not in the playoffs this year.
Right. Yeah.
So if Dame can still channel his all-NBA performances against Russell, because Russell's going to be trying to take him to the post a lot and try to take advantage of his size, if Dame can be dominant in that series, he probably can lift this team further than he was able to last year.
I would say Jokic. Nikola Jokic would be another one that I think would stick out. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that Portland series because I think it's Russell Westbrook, because it goes back to what I just said, is he is such a pivotal piece. And if he plays well and he makes Dame or whoever they're going to have, him, McCollum, whoever's going to guard him on the other end, makes them work and saps their energy on the offensive side of the court, I think that means a lot. If he's not able to make them work, then I think that OKC could be in trouble.
And here's one of the things with Portland that allows teams to have success against them. Their wings don't create offense or score a lot, like Aminu and Harkless. So guys like Paul George get a chance to rest on D when he's not playing against CJ McCollum. And that allows them to load up offensively and continue to attack without necessarily being in foul trouble.
It's going to be interesting to see if anyone can beat the Warriors at all, like even in one game.
I know, but I'm telling you, this worked out great for me as a fan because I wanted to see the Warriors end up having to face potentially the Rockets, which they're probably going to do in the second round, and possibly OKC, which they'll do in the conference finals. Those will be emotional, physical series if they win against both of those squads.
But you still think Golden State's going all the way, though,
Yeah,
right?
they
Like,
are.
everyone always talks about how the West is going to be tougher than it used to, but I haven't heard anybody yet say that they're going to lose.
I ain't
We're
going to be
good
that
there.
guy.